Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. A big play there on the first play of the game. 47 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Now Newton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Newton. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play, because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll toss it to Hunt. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And Parkey's kick is good. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. Now the first carry for an Ohio native. It's Ezekiel Elliott. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 37-yard line. Here we go with Jamal Charles. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott completes it right side to Cooper. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now Benjamin. Fighting through. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And the Ravens taking the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Reveal yourself. Who in here watching this cast? Who watching my cast, man? Who watching my cast?
Before he could get out of the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They're calling a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down. Running with Elliott. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. On 1st and 10, Newton. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And some space here. 30. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at his 4. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
How many times in the course of a game do you talk about momentum plays? And I think we just saw one there.
Absolutely.
Just scored, right?
Just took the lead.
Just took the lead, went downfield, got the ball free again, and picked it up. They got a chance to really get the momentum on their side now.
And now they'll try to pile on. A first down carry by Elliott. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here go 46. Gun. 46.
Second down, Prescott. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. Now Prescott looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. He's at the 50, the 30, 20. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. Cooper was the intended target.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll run it here with Hunt. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A toss play to Hunt, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss of 5, and they're going to face a third down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, third down.
Do something.
Here's Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Terrell Suggs able to drop it for a loss of 12, and it'll be fourth down. And Parkey's kick is good. And a second field goal here gets him back within a couple at 8-6 now. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire. And they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Again to Elliott. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't. Then we're going to 53.
10th carry now for Elliott. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Tried to get the edge there. The defense just too quick to the ball.
That's what we call total team defense there. Can't get to the edge, no place to move it inside, and then allows everyone else to run to the ball and create a big-time tackle for no gain for the offense.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He sets to fire deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. More from Cleveland after this. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The Browns try to get back and set quickly here. Time ticking away. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go.
The shotgun snap for Newton. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Newton on 1st down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Alex Okafor coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Newton. Forced out to his left. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Oh, my Cam. There's times when I'm not analyzing up here. I'm just appreciating. Led NFL quarterbacks in rushing last year. He is truly the ultimate weapon at that position.
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now they'll run it on the toss. And everyone on their assignment defensively there, as he'll be taken down behind the line. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. The Browns on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, now he bowls him over. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Parkey's kick is good. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And now running right through it. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Desmond King making the tackle.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Swing to the pit, right.
Again, it's Elliott. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. They go play action here on first down. He'll rifle this one, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by David Anderson. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Cooper was the target there. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Dancing to his left. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Completes it to Lee. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. So they go pass on 3rd and 2. They complete it, but no gain. Should they have tried to run it?
I thought that running the ball in that situation is what they would have done, because at worst case scenario, you may bring up a 4th down decision for your team. Instead, now they're not close to the 1st down.
Here we go on 4th. Newton. Buying time to his left. He's got the hook up to Lee. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run, because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They run again with Hunt. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Browns on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Newton. The left side throw complete to Adams. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
This will be fielded at the 6. Eluding the tackle. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Elsewhere, second half is underway up in Orchard Park. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And the Browns getting set to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw again. Newton. And he fends him off. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for the Browns. 49 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Come on now.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. On 2nd down, here's Newton. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Newton to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Here's Newton. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Hustle. Gun.
Prescott now on second down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worried about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections.
And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Third and short yardage, Prescott. This one caught left side by Cooper. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Prescott now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Here we go, 46.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. This is Johnson. He's got it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They've been burned twice already on fourth down, but the third time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. A first down throw for Prescott. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott, and he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. The extra point, a vital one, and he gets it to go. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. The Browns try to get back and set quickly here. Time ticking away. Now Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And it's third down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Newton to throw. Being chased out left. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They'll run with Elliott. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They go to Elliott again. And some room to maneuver. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Ravens on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth. Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They'll run it with Elliott. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. They'll try to sweep with Elliott. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. Boswell good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. He's got him in, complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Now one more shot at it. Obviously, again, they've got to go for the end zone.
Well, we've seen it happen before. How about Aaron Rodgers throughout his career? He seems to pull it off about every other week. But if I'm the defense, I'm rushing the quarterback and making him move away from his throwing arm. That makes it a little bit tougher to get it downfield.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Alex Okafor in there to get him. His 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Well, we saw a close game.